What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video. This one is for Monday, February 13th, 2023, Valentine's Day Eve. If you're down with that, let's rejoice. Hope everyone is doing well today. We have a massive NBA schedule on our hands. 11 games to go over. Now, I'm not going to be digging into all 11 of these games. I do have a few that I want to share with you, and I'll give you some players that are already standing out to me. Some of them are on the board, some of them are not. But regardless, let's be prepared for when these Prize Picks props drop so that we can lock them in and have a little fun tomorrow. So without further ado, let us begin this early look and research video starting in San Antonio or Cleveland, where the Spurs will be visiting the Cavaliers. And for this, for a couple of these games, these spreads are super huge. 14.5 point spread in this one, 14.5 point spread in the Houston-Philly game. But I want us to not be afraid of the game environment because of the spread. Do not be afraid of the potential blowout, the possible blowout. I don't want to play hypothetical games here. Let's just look at the matchups. Let's look at the game environments. Let's look at why these players are in a good position, and let's attack their props. That's the only way. That's the only way we can take advantage of these props. We can't be scared of the blowout. Hey, I was scared of the blowout today in Toronto, and the Toronto Raptors almost lost that game to the Pistons. And Siakam ended up having a huge second half. I thought he was going to get all his work done in the first half. So, can't be afraid of the blowout. Got to just play the matchup and play it like it's like an even line here. So, that being said, you can attack the Spurs with bigs. So, I like Jared Allen over his PRA today. 28.5. There we go. 28.5 for Jared Allen over his PRA. Look, I'm not playing this because he's hit this 5 games in a row. You can't just look at this and say, oh, he's hit it 5 games in a row, he's going to hit it again. That's not good research. We got to dig into this just a little bit more. And first of all, we can see that his PRA line is minus 115 to go over, which not terrible odds. It looks like it's a little cautious because of the potential blowout here, but I don't want to look at that. Let's look at what he's done over his last 10 games. 5 games in a row he's hit this. Look, these games were not like against world beaters. It doesn't matter. Then that's even better because he's not facing a world beater in the San Antonio Spurs. So he should, by this game log, he should have he should have a similar result here. He didn't have a tough game against Houston either, and he came up short. So again, you can't play the blowout thing. You can't look at a team and say, oh, he's gonna definitely hit it against this team, or he's not gonna hit it. You just got to play the matchup. And the and the San Antonio Spurs are dead last in a lot of these categories. Points allowed, assists allowed, center defense is bad. So Jared Allen isn't a good matchup. Let's play the matchup. I like Jared Allen today. I like Darius Garland over his assists total of 7.5. He's gone under this 4 games straight. He's been on the hook, didn't come close, and then went way over. But 7.5 is too low. We've seen his assist prop at like 9. Certain points in the season, they were like 8 and 9. 8.5. They were just at 8.5, I think. I think they were at 8.5 versus Chicago on Friday. Now they're dropped to 7.5. That's a buy low opportunity for sure. Isaac Okoro, I wrote his name in my notes, and then my notes automatically corrected his last name to Okra. So I'm like reading my notes, and it says Isaac Okra. I thought that was pretty funny. I like Isaac Okra over his points, 7.5. He's been on the hook 3 games straight, hit it 2 games straight, and then goes flat. Look at his shot chart real quick. Look at his shot chart. If Look how terrible he has been shooting from behind the arc, and he's been missing his point by 1 point basically. Look at these. He's getting his minutes. That's important. So that's number one. But look at this. 4 games, 3 games straight. He's shot 3, 5, and made one in each game. Had he just made one more, he's over in these 2 games here. Had he just made one more, just regular shot from the field, 4 of 7, he's over. 4 of 9, he's over. He's right there. He's getting his opportunities. He should get plenty of opportunity against San Antonio. I like him over 7.5 points. Moving on to Orlando and Chicago. 2 players I like in this game and 1 player I like across the board. And I think he might be a guy that I can put in a few different slips and spread his props out in a few different ways. Vucevic over points. Now this was at 18.5. It literally got bumped to 19.5 probably within the last 10 or 15 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't get bumped again. I still like it at 19. I also like his rebounds over 11.5, and I like his PRA, and his fantasy is here too. I like him all over the place. He's had great success against the Orlando Magic. I don't know if it's because he used to play for them and he feels like he wasn't valued enough. These players walk around with massive chips on their shoulders, so they never let it go. And so if that's why he plays, so well versus the Orlando Magic, then, I'm cool with that. We need him to go hard tomorrow, and it looks like he's in a good spot, right? Against Orlando, 14 points, 26 points. This is beginning of the season. This is more recent. I like this game history here. His rebounds over both games, 16 and 13, right? Love that. PRA, both games, 37-45, clears it. Both games. Fantasy, he's over that too because he's adding steals and blocks. Both games, 4 steals and blocks, 2 steals and blocks. He's over all that. Turnovers, 1 and 3. Those are not enough for him to go under any fantasy line. So I like Vooch across the board. And I like 1 player from the other side, and it's Markelle Fultz. This line, I like it, and it's over his I like him over his points. I like that. But I like Markelle Fultz over his points and rebounds also at 16.5. So those are the 2 props I like for Markelle Fultz. Moving on to Minnesota and Dallas. 2 players standing out from this game, and none of them are named Luka. I like Rudy Gobert over his rebounds at 10.5. Still no inside presence for the Dallas Mavericks. They just gave up. Sabonis ripped down 22 boards in 2 games, like within the last 4 days. Rudy Gobert needs 11. So I feel good about that one. And then I also feel good about Kyrie Irving over his point prop of 24.5. Give me that one for sure. Those are the 2 I like from this game. Just at first glance, super high level. Just digging into some rankings and some game logs here, but these 2 I like a lot. Utah, Indiana. Utah is not on the board, so this is one of the teams that are not on the board. Walker Kessler, I like over 21.5 points and rebounds. Jordan Clarkson over 2.5 3-pointers made tomorrow. I like those 2 Jazz players. Houston, Philadelphia. Now, this is another game, huge spread. We can be afraid of the blowout here, or we can just play the matchups because the Philadelphia 76ers are in a great spot. James Harden over 2.5 3-pointers made. If this gets released at 2.5, I like it. Joel Embiid is on the board. I know. I like Joel Embiid over 47.5 points and rebounds. Points, rebounds, and assists. Points, rebounds, and assists. And Joel Embiid over fantasy. You think I'm crazy? You think that it's going to blow them out? You think how will they blow out the Rockets? Because Tobias Harris gets hot from the field? Because George Niang gets hot from the field? Why? How? It's going to be because Joel Embiid 39, 31, 31, 34, 31. Those are all in the last 5 games versus the Rockets. They lost their last game against the Rockets. Remember that game? They lost that game. Blowout risk or not, they lost that game. So Joel Embiid, he might be a little mad that the Eagles lost today. He might come out with some extra fire in his belly tomorrow. But I like these 2 props for Joel Embiid. James Harden over 2.5 3-pointers made. On the other side, I do like some Rockets today, tomorrow. Kenyon Martin over 13.5 points. I like this. Jalen Green over 28.5 PRA. What? Now, the blowout risk does not concern me. The one thing that does concern me is that Jalen Green has dramatic splits. Plays much better at home than he does on the road. But he's capable of putting up 29, 30 PRA in any game. For sure. So, I like these 2 as of now. I was looking a little into Sengun as well. I just didn't really like any of his props. That might change by tomorrow once we start digging into some deeper research. But as of now, those are the players that I like from this Houston-Philly game. Washington, Golden State. He is not on the board, but I like Kristaps Porzingis over his PRA 35.5 because Kristaps Porzingis has had good success. That's redundant. He's had success. Can you have bad success? He's had success versus the Golden State Warriors this season, putting up 40 PRA on them. Back in January, super recent game. 40 PRA. How many points did he score? 32. How many rebounds did he grab? Only 5. How many assists did he grab? 3. So points. You can even take his points tomorrow versus Golden State. Over his last 10 games, he's gotten this 4 out of his last 10, but 3 out of his last 5. Cleveland's a tough matchup. Indiana was a blowout. They're not blowing out Golden State. He should stay on the floor. Look at this game against Indiana. Played 32 minutes, 35 the game before, 26 against Cleveland, but in 32, 35. If he plays 35 minutes tomorrow against the Golden State Warriors and stays out of foul trouble, I mean, look at this, 6'5", 5'6". Keep your hands to yourself, man. Yeah, if he stays out of foul trouble, I like him tomorrow for sure. All right, yes, I know Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson are in this game, but right now, this is the prop that's standing out to me. New Orleans versus OKC, 2 Thunder for you, and then 1 Pelican. Jalen Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, come on down. You are the next contestant on. The prop is right. Jalen Williams, 12.5 points. I like this. Also like his PRA at 19.5 points. I would go with his points alone, but I don't mind his PRA as of now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 41.5 PRA, and his fantasy is set to 50. Every time I see his fantasy score in that 49 to 50, I think it's too high. Oh, man, there's no way he can hit it. Then he hits it. He's got a great matchup tomorrow against New Orleans. Very fast-paced team. Very fast-paced team. They're only separated by 1.5 possessions per game. That's not that many. They both play very fast. So this should be a very nice back-and-forth game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then on the other side, I like Trey Murphy III. He is not on the board. But when his points drop at 13.5, I like it. Trey Murphy over 13.5 points. I also like Trey Murphy over his rebounds. You could get away with his PRA if you think he can score more than 14 points. Because his assists are a little low, and even though he's going over his rebound prop in the last few games, 4 and 5, I mean, 19.5 PRA. If he gets you 14 points, gets you 4 rebounds, that's 18. That means he has to get you at least 2 assists. Can he get you 2 assists? He's done it in the last, out of these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 out of his last 5 games. It's possible. But yeah, I like his points and rebounds for sure. And that's going to do it from the OKC New Orleans game. Brooklyn, New York, Atlanta, Charlotte, Denver, Miami. Nothing honestly at this point was standing out to me. So I went ahead and skipped those games. Obviously, we'll cover those games in a final look video, as I'll try to provide at least one prop from each game and then give you my picks in terms of who I will be rolling with my 2-pick flexes, and then even let you know how my 5-pick and 6-pick flexes are looking for tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for tonight's early look and research video. Really appreciate you stopping by the channel, checking this video out, chilling out with me, and just talking some NBA props over on Prizepicks. Drop me a comment below letting me know who you have your eyes on this really loaded board over on Prizepicks. Also, tell me what you think about my early looks and observations into tomorrow's slates. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Do you want to leave them alone? Either way, just let me know in the comments below. Once again, thank you for stopping by and just helping this channel grow a little every single day. It means a lot. Truly means a lot. And until the next video, the final look video, Chavez is